Good morning, Spurs fans. It's your boy Clan, Spurs fan, here with a brand new video. If you could give me a like, subscribe, turn that notification bell on. So let's go ahead and talk about this quote that I heard from my guy, Greg Popovich. Now, I did not see this the other day. It was uploaded a day ago, so yeah, I totally missed it, went under the radar. But I think it's very telling. So Popovich was just talking about the team. He was talking about how, for some reason, they can't play for 48 straight minutes. That's what he said. He said they can't play. They can't stay in a play for a long time. In other words, we got a short attention span. And he said that, but then he said these guys. I don't think I'm paraphrasing. I think this is the exact quote, but he said these guys need to man up and play better. I think Popovich saying that is the most on the nose, nail on the coffin statement he can make. Because honestly, as cliche as that sounds, you need to just man up. I think that he's on point with that. This team is better than this. Now, I will get on to Pop as far as rotations all day. I'll do it all day. I'll say, hey man, why aren't you playing this player? Why aren't you playing this player? But when it's all said and done, if you're out there, if Pop has you out there, you need to play with the utmost effort. Now, I know certain guys like, Bryn Forbes, hey, he can play with the most effort he can, or he wants to, but he's undersized, and that's just is what it is. So yeah, he shouldn't be playing as much as he does sometimes. But in the same breath, there's no excuse for DeMar DeRozan. There's no excuse for LaMarcus Aldridge. There's no excuse for DeJounte Murray. He's young. DeJounte Murray played a good game last game, but you know what I'm saying. If we're just talking about the overall season, there's no excuse. Like, there's no excuse. If I start from player to player, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna go from player to player on my problem with them. So if we start off with the starting point guard, my problem with DJ hasn't been necessarily his playing. Okay, I think he plays pretty good defense this season. I know he's still trying to get some adjustments. He turned the ball over too often, but hey, a lot of people use that excuse he's young, and I also think that he's kind of out of his position. I think he should be a shooting guard. But with that being said, I do have a problem with you coming off the bench, you getting irritated. I'm following everybody. You start, and then you promise Spurs fans that we're going to get it together. That really bothered me, and that's going to stick with me for a long time. Bryn Forbes, like I said, he's just undersized. I don't necessarily have a problem with Bryn Forbes. He's missing his shots, but when shooters are just like field goal kickers in the NFL. If their confidence is down, they're gonna become streaky. So I think his confidence is down because of his lack of defense and him getting killed all the time and him running around because they attack him every single play on defense. He's getting tired and worn down. So I understand that. So I'm not gonna get on Bryn Forbes too much like some people do. I do believe that he shouldn't get as much playing time that he does. DeMar DeRozan, you can't be getting ejected from games. I know that you're technically the leader of the team as far as the points, but you have to be the mental leader as well. And you getting ejected last game was very telling against the Kings. You can't get ejected like that. We need you. We need you. And it's not just about the points you put up. I know that you're getting frustrated. I know it's frustrating that you're the one scoring and other guys aren't stepping up. But at the same time, you got to keep your head up, man. You can't get so frustrated and then show the enemy and show everyone, every fan that you're frustrated. LA, I just think he plays soft. I mean, that's just my thoughts on it. I always felt like he played soft. Trey Lyles, no problem from him. Jakob, you're fine. Derek White, he can be a little inconsistent, but he's a point guard. Like, that's just what he is. So even when his stats aren't that good, he did something in the game to help. Marco just shouldn't get as much playing time as he does. Patty is Patty, so I'm not going to get on Patty. But yeah, I think Popovich saying that this team needs to man up was very accurate. Very accurate. And that's saying that to a grown man, especially these players that have a lot of pride. That's fighting words. That's fighting words. If this team doesn't come out next game and play hard, or play like they got some heart, or play like they're ready to man up, I don't see us going to the playoffs. I don't. I'll say that right now. If we go against the Nuggets and we lay an egg, and I'm not saying we lose because it's very possible to lose against any team, but if we go in there and just lay an egg, or don't stay focused through the fourth quarter hit and we just give up, we're not making the playoffs. Because if Popovich comes out and says you need to man up, they just need to man up. They need to stop being punks. If he basically says that and you don't respond, you just ain't ready for a championship. Now, I did see some people make the argument. They said, Clan, but don't you think that the team, that Popovich just lost the team? Popovich is San Antonio, man. If Popovich lost the team, there was no hope for this team. I mean, what players on this team have won a championship outside of San Antonio? I mean, did LA do anything with the Trailblazers? Did DeMar DeRozan do anything with the Raptors? No. So for you to just say, maybe Popovich lost the team, I don't buy into that. I don't believe that. I think, I mean, if Popovich, through all the hard times that we've had, and he never lost the star player like Tim Duncan, never lost Manu coming off the bench, never lost Tony Parker, as much as a diva Tony Parker was at times, he didn't lose anybody. The only player I could think of that he lost was Steven Jackson. That's the only player I can think of that we're saying, did he lose this guy? He lost Steven Jackson. But other than that, I don't think he lost anybody. So I think we're fine as far as the coaching is. Are they responding to him? They're responding to Pop. Pop is just that type of guy. He just has that reputation around the league, and he's been there long enough where guys are gonna respond to him. They're gonna like him, and they don't like him, they're gonna respect him. I just think that what's going on right now is just these players' true nature is showing. They pretended to be a San Antonio Spurs player long enough, and now their true nature is starting to show. That's just my thoughts on it. That's just my thoughts on it. What up, Claire? What up, Jane? Agree about DJ. He's not a point guard. I think Aldridge wants to be a Blazer. I think in his heart and hearts, I think he is a Blazer. But stop pretending, y'all. Like Pop said, man up. Stop all the pretending. If I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, Pop, I went off last night. Like, I was really irritated thinking about the Spurs when I got on here. And honestly, reading this quote from Pop made me feel way better. Because if he's saying this, and he just straight up, I'll be honest with you, man. I don't recall another time. Like, Pop has said some things where he had to get on to players. I don't remember one time Pop came out and said, you need to man up. I just don't remember that. I heard Pop, say, play hard. Penetrate hard. I want some nasty. But I never remember him in a press conference or anything saying that they need to man up. I mean, that's just saying that you're soft. And honestly, that's what it is. I know some people say, man, we just lacking talent. We got more talent than the Sacramento Kings. We shouldn't lose by 20 against the Sacramento Kings. That's just not manning up. That's just not playing hard, playing through it. Really, some of these guys on this team, it makes me feel like, you know what? Can we just give the keys to players that actually want to win? I'd rather lose with Lonnie Walker, DeJounte Murray, Derek White, and freaking Keldon Johnson on the court than DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge. We do have a lot of talent. And just like last season, I've seen this team, just like last season, it feels like we can beat anybody in the NBA or we can lose against anybody in the NBA. And we were so inconsistent throughout the throughout the season that once we got to the playoffs, we were even inconsistent in the same series. I mean, it was games in that series where we looked like a champion, and games in that series where we just laid an egg. I don't know. And I'm telling you guys, I always measure as far as these games go, as far as these seasons go, I always measure our chances of a championship with the rodeo road trip. I always look at the rodeo road trip. That year that we lost to the Grizzlies first round, when we were first seed and they were eighth seed, the rodeo road trip is what I was looking at, and the end of the season is what I was looking at, and we got really inconsistent. And it's looking like it's going to be the same thing this year, because now we're 0-3 on the rodeo road trip, and we just we got to get it going. We got to get going. And honestly, I think the reason why the rodeo road trip is so important isn't just because okay, it's a whole bunch of games on the road, and we get to see what we do in adversity, um, tough situations, constantly going from town to town. I think why it's important is because Popovich forces those guys to hang out. They go bowling, they go to dinners, they go see movies together. They're constantly hanging out. It's not one of those things where it's just a road trip and you go your separate ways. All the guys are hanging out every single night. So you would think that they would end up becoming closer, having that connection, and then we would see the byproduct on the court. But right now, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's up with them. The main players that look like they are close is Derek White, Lonnie Walker, Keldon Johnson, and I think DeJounte. And Patty's always in the middle of everything. So Patty's cool with everybody. But yeah, I mean that's all I'm seeing. So we'll see what happens. I don't know, but Pop, you said the right thing. Let's see if it translates over. We'll see if we actually show up against the Denver Nuggets. But yeah, I'll give it to you guys later. If something comes to mind that I want to talk about, I'll get on here. But until next time, deuces.